is out. He got hurt in game 1 of the doubleheader on Friday. Pitch hit in game 2, but he didn't play the field at all.
Okay.
Actually, I haven't tested the music, Gabriel. So when you get done with this, you might want to.
I did, yeah. We should be all good.
Mr. Brett, how was your Easter?
Of course. What about you? When did you get back from Texas?
I got back last night. It was awesome.
We're in Texas.
Dallas.
Okay, you're coming up, Gabriel.
Excellent. And I'm not just saying that because it says excellent in the top left of the screen, although that's encouraging. That's better than not saying
I've not done any testing for audio, but one problem.
Aaron and Stephanie, do you guys want to just say something really quickly? You're on the air.
Gotcha. We're on the air here from Lee Pfund Stadium. It's cold and windy, as is the case for spring baseball here in Chicago. We're testing the audio, and we will bring you Wheaton Thunder. First place, Wheaton Thunder baseball here shortly against the North Park Vikings. Stephanie.
Yeah, I'm excited though. The sun's still out, so I'm
For now.
For now. But yeah, as Aaron said, it's a little windy, but should be a good game.
Springtime baseball here in Chicago. It's cool, it's windy, and it's time for first place Wheaton Thunder baseball. Good afternoon, and welcome to Lee Pfund Stadium, along with Stephanie Kishi. My name's Aaron Schellen, and the Wheaton Thunder, about halfway through, a little bit less than halfway through their CCIW schedule, sit in first place, all alone with a 5-2 record as they welcome in the North Park Vikings here this afternoon. And Stephanie, what's made the Thunder start even more impressive is the teams that they've played so far this season. They've taken on Augustana, Milliken, North Central, and now they're taking on North Park, which are 4 of the top 5 teams in CCIW play, not only holding their own, but winning some games, and winning some games impressively. Friday was a lot of fun. I know you weren't here. You were over at women's softball, but Friday was a lot of fun. 6 2/3 no-hit innings from David Levengood. He went 7 2/3 shutout, giving up 2 hits, and then game 2, the dramatic walk-off, scoring 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th to sweep the doubleheader against North Central, and right back at it here again on Monday.
Number 1, Joe Perona.
And we're about ready to get started for North Park. They come in 14-8 on the season. As I mentioned, 4-2 in CCIW play, half a game back. And this is what their starting lineup will look like. First will be the center fielder, Joe Perona. Batting second, playing second is Kupono Ukaka. Batting third is the shortstop, Taylor Joseph. Rain Mathuzaki is the cleanup hitter and catcher, as the first pitch is over for a strike by Alex Bagley. Alex Bagley off to a really good start this season for the Thunder. And it's quickly 0-2. Bagley 3-0 on the year, a 4.34 earned run average, 28 hits and 29 innings of work, 21 Ks, 5 walks, opponents hitting just 252. Off of Bagley. His last start came against Augustana on the 28th. 5 innings, just 3 hits, 2 earned runs. A really good offense, or a very good pitching line against the best offense that the CCIW has to offer. And he's been even better lately. Just a 1.89 earned run average in his last 3 starts. So he's been locked in. We'll give you the rest of the lineup after this. 1-2, swing and a miss. Joe Perona down on strikes to get this one started. So first pitch was at 4:59, 50 degrees, partly sunny here in Carroll Stream. So Rain Mathuzaka is the cleanup hitter at playing catcher. Vinny Marvucik bats 5th, plays right field. Fabian Cruz bats 6th, out and left. Braden Enomoto is the designated hitter batting 7th. Enzo Vertucci bats 8th, plays 1st. Eli Johnson plays 3rd and bats 9th against Alex Bagley. Akaka will swing and hit the first pitch to straightaway center. Braden Engel, a couple of steps over, a couple steps to his left, makes the catch. 2 quick outs here in inning number 1. So good start for Bagley, exactly what you're looking for. 2 up, 2 down to get this one started.
Taylor Joseph.
Now Taylor Joseph, and Joseph a very dangerous hitter for this North Park lineup, as he's hitting .443 this season, 35 for 79, and he'll take strike 1. 5 home runs, 26 knocked in. It's a North Park lineup that hits about .280 as a team. No balls, 1 strike. Grounded to the right side, over to play it is Headland. He'll get there, but he won't have a play as he was shading Joseph up the middle. So Taylor Joseph with a 2-out infield single here in the first inning.
Plate number 26, Ren Matsuzaki.
Now Ren Matsuzaki, the catcher, will dig in. Lefty cleanup hitter. Batting .238, some pop, 4 home runs. He's driven in 21. And with some pop today, with the way the wind is blowing, that could spell danger for these pitchers, gives some of these left-handed hitters something to lean into. That wind blowing left to right at about 25 to 30 miles an hour here tonight. Mathuzaki will look at an 0-1. Joseph down at first. He's got 4 stolen bases on the year. And the throw over, he had him leaning. Joseph was bouncing to his right towards second base. Got back in just ahead of the tag. No balls, 1 strike on Matsuzaki. Bouncing around again. That's hit foul down the left field line, out of play. Mentioned Alex's hot streak. His last 3 appearances covered 19 innings, 16 hits, just 4 earned runs in that time on the year. Alex, 21 Ks, only 5 walks. That throw is going to skip away, and Joseph will head down to second. He's going to make the turn, and he'll end up at third as the throwing error by Bagley puts a runner at third base with 2 outs. Saw Joseph just a little bit in Alex's head, I think, a little bit there, Stephanie, bouncing around at first base, and the low throw skipping past Charlie Schofield down the right field line.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just so frustrating because he has the batter at an 0-2 hole right now, and obviously you do want to focus on the batter, but Joseph's just causing some havoc on the base paths.
The 0-2. That's slice foul right, because now pass ball, wild pitch, that scores the run. And he's still got Mathuzaki, in an 0-2. Bagley set, and the pitch. Grounded back to Bagley, off his glove. The play at third, the throw is behind the first baseman, Schofield. And there you go, Stephanie, a ground ball back off the glove of the pitcher, Bagley. It'll go in the books as an RBI single. And taking the lead is North Park here on a play that really should be first and second in 2 outs. Instead, there's a run in here in the first. We'll go in the books as an unearned run, but you said it. You know, pay attention to that batter at the plate. Runner at first with 2 outs.
Number 17, Vinny Marvucek.
Now Vinny Marvucek, the right fielder. 232, has a home run. And he'll take a strike. And it's the one thing, I mean, the one thing you're going to get from Alex is he's not going to walk a lot of hitters, so that's going to limit a lot of the potential damage. You know, it's going to take 3, 4, 5 hits in an inning to really put up a big inning against him. Fouled quickly back, and it's 0-2. And
Definitely just, I think, hit a car.
yeah, I heard that too. I heard the thud. No balls, 2 strikes. Let's see if Bagley can put away Marvucek. He's taking a peek over at Matsuzaki at first. I thought Bagley might have had that on the backhand. And there's a nice pick over at first by Charlie Schofield. And the side is retired. An unearned run on 2 hits sends us to the bottom of the first. Vikings 1, Thunder coming up.
Walk-off for the Thunder.
Bottom one, Thunder down 1-0. Wheaton will face a sophomore out of Kihei, Hawaii. This is Dawson Noose. Good numbers for Noose this season. 3-1, sub-3 ERA, 2.70 on the year. Making his 7th start, 34 hits in 33 and a third innings, 29 strikeouts, 15 walks for the 5'8 senior. And his last time out was on the 28th against Carroll. Gave up 4 earned runs in 5 innings. Control's been a bit of a problem for Noose his last 2 starts. He's walked 10 in his last 11 innings of work. Walked 6 against North Central and then 4 in that start against Carroll on the 28th. And he'll start Braden Engel off with ball 1. 2-0. So it'll be Braden Engel batting leadoff, playing center. Caleb Schauer bats second, plays left. Jack Gill hits third as the shortstop. Charlie Schofield is your cleanup hitter down at first. Mason Dial is your DH batting fifth. Will Clegg bats sixth and plays third base. Sean Dimitrovich bats seventh and right. Nathan Hedlund bats eighth, plays second. And the red-hot Ryan Cartwright bats ninth and does the catching for the Thunder. Thunder, no James Scott, no Tyler Burr in the lineup here again today, as it's 3-1 on Engel. And Braden has really given this team a lift since his return to the lineup, especially defensively. He's made 2 or 3 just remarkable catches out there out in center field since his return. And he'll slap the 3-1 down the left field line. Racing over for it is Fabian Cruz, but that will land foul. But not to be overlooked is the bat. He has a hit in all 6 games since returning to the Thunder lineup. 7 for 21 on the year with 2 doubles, a triple, 4 runs knocked in. He's stolen 4 bases. So hitting for average, hitting for a little bit of power, stealing some bases, playing fantastic center field. So giving them a real boost since his return. It couldn't have come at a better time with both James and Tyler going down, as he'll be caught looking on 3-2. Was looking for something else. Took a fastball right down the middle. 1 away here in the first.
Now batting for Wheaton.
Now Caleb Schauer.
Caleb Schauer.
Schauer at 273. He's 9 for 33 at the plate. He came in as a defensive replacement in the second inning of the first game of the doubleheader on Friday against North Central. Slaps this to short. Backing up on it is Taylor Joseph, the high throw, but Vertucci is there. 2 quick outs here in the first. Now it'll be Jack Gill.
Now up for the Thunder, the shortstop, number 32, Jack Gill.
422 for Jack here in his sophomore season. 3 home runs, 24 driven in. Trying to get something started with 2 outs and nobody on in the first. First inning has been good to the Thunder over the last handful of games. You go back to the first game against Dubuque, which was back on the 24th. They scored 5 runs in the bottom of the first there. Then their next game was against Augustana here on the 27th. Scored 4 runs in the bottom of the first there. Then they scored 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning against North Central in game 1. So they've had some luck in the first inning, but they're looking at a 1-2 count on Jack Gill with 2 outs in the first right now. It's always nice to play with a lead early. The 1-2 now to Gill. Downstairs, 2-2.
Yeah, they have a total of 32 runs in the first inning, and that is only topped by 34 in the 7th. So, as you said, Aaron, they're usually used, I should say, of having a quick start.
Early and late. You can win a lot of ball games when you score a lot of runs early in a game and a lot of runs late in a game. Count's gone full on Jack. Charlie Schofield waits on deck. First place versus second place here in the CCIW. The payoff pitch to Gill is off of Noose, and he'll throw it to first, and he looks all right. Took a line drive right off the side and he will throw out Gil. Sanus pitches a 1-2-3 first, 1-0 North Park. Top of the second. Thunder down 1-0. Unearned run in that first. A throwing error on a pickoff attempt by Alex Bagley, and then a ground ball by Rain Mathuzaki back off of Bagley. Let Taylor Joseph come home from third. First pitch to Fabian Cruz, misses down and away, ball 1. In that first inning, Alex gave up a couple hits, struck out a batter, threw 11 pitches, 10 of them were in the strike zone. His control was on point, and if not for throwing error, would have been out of there scoreless. It's 1-1 on Cruz. Fabian Cruz, 214 on the season, 6 for 28. The 1-1. Cruz checks his swing, didn't go, 2-1. Defensively for the Thunder, they have Will Clegg down at third, Jack Gill at short, Nathan Headland at second, Charlie Schofield at first. Caleb Schauer in left, Braden Engel in center. That's a good fastball inside corner at the knees. Sean Dimitrovich in right, and Ryan Cartwright will do the catching. Alex looking for strikeout number 2. Has 22 Ks, 5 walks on the season. Make it 23. That is a good pitch on the outside corner. One out here in the second. And we've seen a lot of umpires this year, Stephanie, who have that delayed strike 3 call. So I was calling it a strikeout before the umpire had made his signal. So I'm like, it better be a strikeout, otherwise I'm going to look foolish.
I was impressed, Aaron. I was like, wow.
That was a good pitch.
It definitely was, but I was also waiting just for that second.
Waiting for confirmation.
Yes.
100%. I get it. Braden Enomoto grounds it softly to short. Jack Gill. And there are 2 quick outs. So just like in the first inning, Alex Bagley struck out the first batter, got the second batter on the first pitch he saw. Let's see if he can finish this one. He'll face Enzo Vertucci. Enzo 8 for 31 on the year, a couple of home runs, 7 RBI. Vertucci, a big kid, 6'2", 200 pounds, out of North Palm Beach, Florida. This North Park team definitely has a I don't know what you want to call it, but a unique flavor as their players are scattered all over the United States. They have 11 players from the state of Hawaii on their team. You wouldn't think Hawaii and North Park would have that connection, right? It feels unusual.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah, 11 players on their roster from Hawaii, and Enzo Vertucci's not one of them, but he's from the West Coast, or he's from down south, as it's the 0-2, just misses outside. Will Clegg took a couple bounces back towards his dugout, called ball 1. You can hear the wind picking up. The 1-2 from Bagley. Waiting back and pushing it foul is Vertucci. So North Park scored a run on 2 infield singles in that first inning. Bagley set, the 2-2. Hit off the end of the bat a little bit, I think, out to center. Easy play for Braden Engel. And it is a 1-2-3 second for Alex Bagley. Bottom 2 coming up. Thunder down 1-0. Back here for bottom 2. And folks, we are aware of the technical issues we're having here at Lee Pfund. The dots on the video, we apologize for that. They know they are working on it. And the hope is that we will be back up and running for our next home game. So just patience, and we appreciate it. Thunder down 1-0 here in the second. Charlie Schofield will take ball 1. Charlie off to a fantastic start. 405, 23 runs knocked in. Slaps it to straightaway center, and coming in and making the running catch is Joe Perona for out number 1. So 4 in a row retired by Dawson New, side of the chute. 1 away in the second.
Stepping up to the plate, the DH, number 21, Mason Dial.
Now Mason Dial. .329 for Mason. Couple of home runs, 19 knocked in. 5-game hit streak for the Thunder DH. 6 for 16 in that stretch. 2-0, and he's been productive, driving in runners as well. 13 runs knocked in his last 8 games. It's easy to do, though. You know, I shouldn't say it's easy to do, but you have a lot of opportunities with the likes of Braden Engel and Jack Gill and Charlie Schofield and James Scott and Tyler Burr batting in front of you. You're going to have a lot of RBI opportunities, and Mason has been coming through. He'll look at a 2-1 now from Noose. And he picks up a sharp base hit to left. First hit of the game for the Thunder is the senior Mason Dial. Now a 6-game hit streak for Mason, and that'll bring up Will Clegg. Will's average is dipped just under 300. He's at 298. He was 0 for 3 in game 2 against North Central. Was hit by a couple of pitches, so scored a couple of runs, but was 0 for 3. Does have 3 home runs, which is tied for the team lead, and 19 runs driven in, which is tied for third on the team. Those 19 RBI come in just 47 at-bats for Will. So when he's had the opportunity to drive in runners, he has done so. Sophomore will look at a 1-0. Missing away, 2-0. Sean Dimitrovich on deck. And then Nathan Hedlund here in the bottom of the second. Back up the middle into center field for a base hit. Sharply hits and back-to-back singles for Dial and Clegg in the second. Stephanie, we're seeing it. One of the things that have made the Thunder, that have helped the Thunder be so successful this year, is this 7, 8, 9 in their lineup. When the Thunder have had success offensively, it's been because these guys at the bottom of the order have been getting on base for the guys at the top. So Sean Dimitrovich, Nathan Hedlund, Ryan Cartwright have all been really productive this season, getting on base and helping to roll that lineup over, and they get an opportunity here. Dimitrovich swings and misses. Sean at 316 with 11 knocked in. And Dial at second, Clegg at first. Not a ton of speed on the bases. Let's see if Sean can drop one into the outfield someplace. Squares to bunt. And did he offer at it? I'm still waiting. He did not. It's a 1-1. Dimitrovich, the sophomore, has hits in 5 of his last 6 and 10 of his last 12. Pop straight back. 1-2. Dial and Clegg each with sharp singles. Dimitrovich trying to keep that line moving here in the bottom of the second. Noose with a deep breath, and the 1-2 to Dimitrovich. Fastball outside corner called strike 3, and saw Sean. He was not expecting that. He was getting ready to dig in on 2-2, and he looked up, and he was being rung up. Second strikeout for Noose. 2 outs in the second.
Playing second base, number 10, Nathan Hedlund.
Now Nathan Hedlund, and Nathan at 254. Just 4 hits in his last 22 at-bats, but Stephanie, 8 RBI in that time. Each of his 4 hits in that 22 at-bat string has driven in a run. He had a bases-clearing double against Dubuque, a bases-clearing double against Augustana, and then a 2-run single in Game 2 against North Central. So when he's come up with runners on base, he's delivered. Need him to deliver here. First and second, 2 outs. This is high, 1-1.
And that's the really cool thing about baseball is even if you're maybe not finding that consistency you need, you just need those guys who kind of have that like clutch gene where you just need runners, or while runners are on, I should say, you can just get hits and things like that.
Misses outside. Yeah, there are just some guys who, you call it a clutch gene, call it whatever you want, but there are some guys who just are able to come through in situations like that. And they might be 0 for their last 5, but they'll come up with runners on second and third and 2 outs, and they'll deliver. 2-1 here to Hedlund. And that's hit to short. The throw into second is in time to retire Clegg. So the Thunder put 2 on with 1 out. Can't score. We go to the third. It's 1-0 North Park. Third inning, both pitchers look sharp so far, Stephanie.
Yeah, they absolutely do. Both of them wheeling and dealing. A lot of strikes being thrown,
Yep.
which I think is what you always want to see, both as a fan and, of course, the coaching staff, I'm sure, is thrilled with that.
And as a broadcaster, when it's 45 degrees with 30-mile-an-hour
Yes.
winds, we like to see strikes being thrown as well. Yeah, Alex Bagley, 21 pitches, 17 of them have been in the strike zone through 2 innings. And just as I say that, he'll throw ball 1 to Eli Johnson. Johnson, the third baseman, he's coming in at 159. That's 7 for 44, and he'll hit this to left, but right at Caleb Schauer for the first out. And that's 3 innings where Alex Bagley has retired the leadoff hitter.
Joe Corona.
And he continues to deal. Speaking of dealing, David Levengood, fresh off his 6 2/3 no-hit innings against North Central on Friday, was named the CCIW Pitcher of the Week for that performance. 7 2/3 innings of 2-hit baseball as that's skied out to center, and Joe Perona's now 0 for 2. And odd thing about baseball, that is now the third time in 3 innings that the second, stay with me, the third time in 3 innings that the second hitter in each inning for North Park has been retired on 1 pitch.
Yeah.
Kapano Akaka, who's at the plate now, he flew out on the first pitch he saw on the first. Braden Enomoto grounded out on the first pitch he saw on the second, and now Joe Perona here in the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to finish the thought on David Levengood, 7 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, which tied a career high through 107 pitches. No hitter through 6 2/3. He was absolutely locked in, and as the Thunder took game 1 of that doubleheader 3-1, and then game 2 was, of course, the walk-off as the Thunder were down 3-0 after 2.5. They were down 8-6 going into the 9th, and then a Ryan Cartwright single and a Jack Gill single would send the Thunder fans home happy. Send me home happy, too. If I have to be here all day, I may as well call Winning Baseball, right?
Exactly. And a walk-off among those, one of those wins, always fun.
2 balls, 1 strike to count on Akaka. Ground ball back up the middle. Gill gets there, throws it across his body, but it won't be in time. And Gill is slow to get up, lost his glove, lost his hat, and I think he may have rolled an ankle when he made that throw. That's the last thing the Thunder can afford right now, already down Tyler Burr and James Scott. You can't be down. You don't want to be down Jack Gill as well. Looks like he's all right, though. The third infield hit given up by Alex Bagley so far. Matt Husted's coming out of the dugout, but it looks like he's probably going to be waved up. Yep, he gets the thumbs up from Jack.
Now hitting number 18, Taylor Joseph.
Now Taylor Joseph, and this is the guy you got to be careful with. I mentioned his batting average at .443 his first time up, and picked up an infield hit in that first inning. He had 8 straight games with at least 2 hits between March 12th and the 28th, went hitless on the 28th in game 2 against Carroll, and then came back on the 29th with a 3-hit game. So 10 times in his last 11 games, he's had at least 2 hits in a ball game. That's hot.
Yeah, and he already has 1 in the first inning.
Grounds that foul. Sophomore to Johnson Creek, Wisconsin. 5'10", 180 pounds. 1 ball, 1 strike. With Akaka at first and 2 outs. Capano 3 for 4 in stolen bases this season. North Park as a team has 40 thefts. 20 of them, though, belong to Joe Perona. So if you can keep him off the bases, They're not going to run a ton. Nakaka at second with 2 outs. And this is the exact situation that caused the throwing error in the first inning. You saw Joseph. It was Joseph down at first base. And I don't know if this is something that North Park coaches their players on, but those players are standing over there bouncing around at first base. And it's hit pretty well in the air out to right. Dimitrovich is on the track. He's at the wall. And did he hold on? He did not. I think the ball was in his glove. It popped out. It's a 2-run homer for Taylor Joseph. And there's that win, Stephanie. 30 miles an hour out to right. It's a 2-run blast for Joseph, and it's 3-0 North Park.
And that was the second hit of the game, so another multi-hit game for him.
That ball carried out to right field. Dimitrovich was there. He had his glove on the ball. I think he had the ball in his glove, and then his glove banged against the wall, and you saw him look down at his glove. Everybody was waiting. Both dugouts were waiting to see his reaction, but ends up as a 2-run homer for Taylor Joseph, and North Park is up 3. Fastball inside corner to Matsuzaki. Rain with an infield single in the first. The Thunder down 3-0 here in the third. And if there's one thing that can kind of give you some hope if you're a Thunder fan, is that this offense has the ability to score some big innings. That's bloop to shallow left. It'll get down in front of Caleb Showers. So it's a 2-hit game for Matsuzaki. 3 straight hits after 2 outs against Alex Bagley here in the third inning. Vinny Marvucek.
Number 17, Vinny Marvucek.
5th hit of the game against Bagley. Just the second home run given up by Alex this season in 31 2/3 innings. Chopped at the plate, foul. Opponent's hitting just .250 against Alex, but North Park putting some decent swings on him today. It's been the 2, 3, 4 hitters. They're 5 for 6. The other 6 hitters in the lineup are 0 for 7. Blocked there by Cartwright, 1-1. Marvucek grounded out to Charlie Schofield to end the first. Missing away, 2-1. Thunder playing Marvucek to pull. Way over in the hole is Nathan Headland. And it's 2-2. Jack Gill right up the middle, just a few steps to the left of the second base bag. Will Clegg basically playing shortstop. Now the 2-2 from Bagley. Stays upstairs. Count goes full. Matsuzaki will take off with this payoff pitch. And fouling it off is Marvucek. Marvucek 0 for his last 10 at the plate. Tough series against Carroll, 0 for 9, but chance to extend this inning here. The 3-2 from Bagley. Nope, instead he'll go to first. And that wind just is not easing up at all here today. The 3-2. Ground ball back to Bagley. Fields his position well. Flips it to first, and the side is retired. But a 2-run home run by Taylor Joseph sends us to the bottom of the third with the Thunder down by 3. We come back here in the bottom of the third. It's now 3-0 North Park with the lead. Battle for first place here in the CCIW conference here. They play today. They play tomorrow at North Park. And Thunder, I mean, you're really hoping for a split in this 2-game series against this North Park team, and then you'll have, I don't want to say the hardest part of your schedule, but you will have at that point played the best teams in the conference. Ryan Cartwright first pitch swinging, slow roller to short. Joseph, the low throw, but Vertucci makes the play. 1 out in the third. Now Braden Engel. Braden struck out looking in the first.
Now to bat goes center fielder.
Hits in all 6 games since returning from an injury. He was the Thunder's leading returning hitter from last season. Sophomore from Byron. We'll look at strike one. One ball, one strike. 6'2", 180-pound lefty. 30 hits last season. Hit a home run. And as expected, was flawless defensively. He made a ridiculous catch in the doubleheader against North Central. A ball that was, we had winds similar to this. You were doing softball, so you were there. You dealt with the wind, Stephanie, but he made a catch that caused him to spin around multiple directions before making the catch right in front of the 395 sign.
Oh, wow.
1-2 down and away. Last season at .313 for the Thunder was 30 for 96 at the plate. It's average at .333 so far this season. A little bit less than that with his 0 for 1. He'll smoke that foul down the right field line. Another good at bat by Engel, who his first game back batted 6th, and then with the injuries was quickly moved up into the 2 spot, and now without both Scott and Burr in the lineup, batting leadoff. The 2-2. Rolled to the right side. Nice hop for Vertucci. He'll step on the bag. 2 ground ball outs here in the third inning. Now Caleb Schauer. Caleb had 2 hits in that walk-off win over North Central on Friday. Had a hit, scored a run in a 5-run third, and then picked up a base hit right before Jack Gill, and that was against Elijah Hammond, the hard-throwing closer for North Central. No balls, 1 strike on Caleb. 9 for 34 this season with a couple of RBIs. Still looking for that first double. Has a couple home runs on the season. Sharply hit to short on the backhand, Joseph. That throw is up the line, and Vertucci not able to slap the tag on Schauer, so he'll reach. He's at first base with 2 outs. Should be an E6. It is an E6. So the inning continues for Jack Gill. And if there's anybody on this Thunder team that can take advantage of that wind blown out to right, it's this guy right here, the lefty, 3 home runs on the season. That being said, he is more of a left center and center field guy. He lives out by the 365 mark on the Wheaton scoreboard.
I think the wind's blowing hard enough that if he gets one, he could still send it over.
Out to left, that might be asking a bunch.
Sorry, no, sorry. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Out to right, yes. Out to right field for sure.
My bad.
It would take a nuke to get it out to left field, I think, today.
Sorry, Aaron. I for some reason heard a right center and not left center. That was my complete fault.
If you had a high fly ball out to right, the ball will carry about an extra 20 or 30 feet. Left field, yeah, no, you're good. Left field's going to take something special. Missing away 1-1.
mean, I think Wheaton would take either at this point.
Sure, yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Get on the board here. This is an offense that averages over 8 runs a game and over 11 hits a game. They've been held to 2 singles so far by Dawson Noose. There goes Shower. The pitch is inside, and Shower will steal second base, so he's in scoring position now. His second theft of the year, and now Gill with an RBI opportunity. He's trying to put some distance between he and Charlie Schofield. Jack 24 knocked in, Charlie 23. He had the walk-off hit against North Central. It was a fly ball to left. Foul tipped at the plate. It's over the left fielder's head, scoring Cartwright from second base. Ryan had tied the game with a base hit through a drawn-in infield. After Nathan Headland started the inning with a double, he reached third on a fielding error. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Gill. Runner at second, 2 outs, Thunder down 3-0. Jack with hits in 16 of his last 18 games. Grounded up the middle, played by Joseph. Easier play, short arms it a little bit, but retires Gill. So the Thunder strand a runner in scoring position. We go to the 4th. Wheaton down 3-0. Fabian Cruz will lead things off here in the 4th. Thunder still down 3-0. Alex Bagley will deliver the first pitch. That's hitting the left center field. Caleb Shower not able to make the sliding catch, and Cruz will dive into second with a leadoff double.
Yeah, if everything else is flying out and right, I feel like a lot of things might be hanging up there in left. And I think Shower was playing, I don't know if it was fairly deep, but yeah, just unable to quite get there, unfortunately.
Well, that was another ball that was affected by the wind as Shower ran a long way and came in, and nothing he could really do about it. First pitch to Braden Enomoto is in there, called strike 1. So Bagley has given up 3 infield singles, a wind-aided home run, and a wind-aided double so far today. Hasn't exactly been knocked around, but trails 3-0. Enomoto tied up, 0-2. 3+ for Alex, 6 hits, 3 runs. No walks, couple of strikeouts. He was at 40 pitches through 3, and he'll make an 0-2 here to Enomoto. Off the end of the bat. Then he'll skip back onto the field. Someone's got to play it. 3 runs, 6 hits, and an error for North Park. 0-2-1 for Wheaton. Thunder currently sit 5-2 in first place in CCIW play. Augustana and North Park tied for second, half a game back at 4-2. 0-2 fouled out of play. Milliken 6-4 in fourth. Carroll 4-3 in fifth. North Central 4-4. Then Illinois Wesleyan 3-3. Carthage 1-7 and Elmhurst bringing up the rear at 0-4. 2 balls, no balls, 2 strikes to Enomoto. That's pushed out of play down the right field line. And if you're Bagley, you got to figure out a way to get out of this inning without allowing that 4th run to score. Got to keep this game 3-0 and let your offense hopefully go to work here at some point.
Yeah, I mean, he has been serving strikes, and North Park has been hitting the ball, with the exception of the home run. Maybe not a ton of super solid contact, which is, I think, what you can ask for as he strikes out.
Yep, Enomoto, that's the 3rd strikeout for Bagley. And yeah, I said this earlier in the game, he's not going to get himself, he's not going to give up a lot of big innings. He just doesn't walk a lot of guys. So, you know, you can deal with a 1-run inning, you can deal with a, a 2-run inning. It's not, generally speaking, unless they're, 5-6 innings in a row, it's not going to hurt you a whole lot. Ends over Tucci now. Pop to the right now to play. The difference, North Park's been hitting the ball in the air, and that wind has been causing some trouble for Wheaton, while the Thunder have been really putting the ball on the ground. 6 of the 9 outs have been on the infield so far. A couple of strikeouts and 1 flyout. And
even their couple of hits were like base hits through the middle. One of them came off of the mound, so.
Got to elevate a little bit on a day like today. Try to get that ball up into the breeze and see if you can let Mother Nature do the work for you. 0-2 here on Vertucci. Timeout called, and we're ready to go. Bagley with 3 strikeouts, looking for number 4 here. The 0-2 to Vertucci. It's hit foul. Vertucci, then Eli Johnson, the 8-9 hitters. And that 3rd time through the lineup, they got to figure out what to do with Taylor Joseph and Rain Matsuzaki. They're both 2 for 2. Otherwise, Bagley's had some success today. Pitch clock violation called on Bagley. No, it's 1-2. It's got to be hard without the clock here. You don't see the actual pitch clock anywhere here. So it's sort of in the pitcher's heads. Matt Husted out talking to the home plate umpire about it. That seemed like a really quick, because it's 15 seconds with a runner with nobody on, 20 seconds with a runner on base. That felt like a really quick 20 seconds. The 1-2. Bagley set. Takes a peek at Cruz. The pitch on its way. Tries to slide her down and away. Vertucci doesn't bite. 2-2. These 2 teams will play again tomorrow, and then the Thunder will be back at home on Friday. It'll be against Elmhurst for 1 game. Cartwright tried to yank that back, but the count goes full. You got 5 games this week for the Thunder. Obviously you'd love to take all 5, but I think if you can walk out of these 5 at 3-2, or especially 4-1, you put yourself in a really, really good position. Bagley with the 3-2 grounded foul, and I mentioned Elmhurst. They're out to a tough start this season, 0-4 in conference play, 6-16 overall. So it's going to be a series, a 3-game series, 1 game here, 2 at Elmhurst, where you never want to say sweep, but that's kind of what you're hoping for. Payoff from Bagley to Vertucci. Ball 4. First walk of the game issued by Bagley goes to the number 8 hitter, Enzo Vertucci. Matt Husted's not thrilled with that walk, as one of those 4 balls was a pitch clock violation. It's now Eli Johnson with 2 on and 1 out in the 4th inning. Popped out to left last inning. That's popped up down the right field line. Dimitrovic makes the catch in foul territory and throws it into Clegg. Nice play by Sean, dealing with the wind, and there are 2 outs. That was right along the fence down that right field line.
Yeah, I was curious if he was going to run out of room, but I think because of that wind, right, everything is kind of staying up there. So nice of Sean to stick with that play.
Now Joe Perona, who's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. Perona, 346 coming into play. 4 home runs, 16 knocked in. Has 2 on with 2 outs. That's smacked to center, but Engel now has to race in, and generally speaking, you should find somebody other than Braden Engel to hit the ball to. North Park Strands pair, bottom 4 coming up.
Number 27, Charlie Schofield.
Well, you heard it there. Charlie Schofield will lead things off for the Thunder in the 4th, down 3-0. Just a couple of singles managed against Dawson Noose so far through 3. It'll be Schofield, Dial, and Clegg, 4, 5, 6. See if they can start taking advantage of the wind here a little bit today. Schofield will take strike 1. Charlie had an 8-game hit streak snapped in Game 2 against North Central on Friday, but during that 8-game streak, had 4 multi-hit games, drove in 10 runs in that time, raised his average up north of 400, which right now is good for 8th. He's 405 on the season, good for 8th in CCIW plays, also 8th in hits, 6th in doubles. It's been a very, very nice freshman year for Mr. Schofield. He stays alive on 0-2. we got the kids playing soccer over there. I just realized that, and got some foul balls headed that way. Another no ball, 2-strike pitch to Schofield. Noose, 3 innings, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts so far. Staying outside on Charlie, and probably not a bad idea with the wind. You know, trying to get outs to trying to hook an outside pitch is not easy. So stay away from him, force him to hit the ball to that left side. Again outside, 2-2. Noose 2-2. Charlie stays back, fouls the breaking ball out of play. Feels a little bit like the game the Thunder played against Concordia Chicago a few weeks ago. The offense just, for whatever reason in that game, wasn't able to figure it out either. Managed just four singles and 1 run in that game, and there's still a long way to go here, but it feels like that a little bit here today as well, as Mason Dial will take ball 1. Mason with a single to left back in the second. Take ball 2. And the walks that have bothered Jackson Noose over his last couple starts, non-existent so far. No walks through 3 1/3. And it's 3-0.
Definitely been a bit of a pitching duel today.
Mm-hmm.
But North Park has put some runners on the base paths, especially the last couple innings.
3-0 to Mason. Big ball 4 just below the knees, so Dial reaches for a second time today. First walk issued by Noose. Now Will Clegg.
Third base, number 4, Will Clegg.
Will with a base hit to center in the second. The Thunder put 2 on with 1 out. Dial and Clegg singled. Dimitrovich struck out, and then Headland grounded out to end the inning. First pitch now to Will. Is hitting the air pretty well out to right. Marvucic is back on the track, and he's not able to make the catch. Dial has to hustle into third. The throw is in time. Dial is out at third base. He got hung up between first and second, so it'll be a double for Clegg, and then 9-4-5 on the putout at third, and the wind causing some problems that time for North Park, but the Thunder can't take advantage of it, and they have a runner at second with 2 outs.
Number 28, Sean Dimitrovich.
And Dimitrovich with Clegg at second and 2 outs. Clegg was about 3/4 of the way to second base before Mason had his foot on the second base bag.
Yeah, I mean, I did see that ball. I think it did bounce off of...
off the glove of Marvucic,
yes,
out in center for Marvucic,
I think
out
so.
in center field, yeah.
I mean, that did not help Mason at all.
1-0 to Dimitrovich is a strike. Ball 1 strike on Sean. He struck out looking his first time. Trying to pick up Clegg from second. Ground ball hit to short. Joseph will retire the side. So a single and a double. Can't get it done in the 4th. We go to the 5th. North Park still up 3. Still 3-0. Now in the fifth, Alex Bagley, 56 pitches through 4 innings, and he'll face 2-3-4 in the fifth. And this is an important inning for Alex Bagley, Stephanie, as he's dealing with Akaka, Joseph, and Matsuzaki, who have 5 of the 6 North Park hits so far today. And if he can get through this inning without giving up any runs, you keep the team in the game, still just 3-0. Akaka skies it to left. Shower playing super shallow, 1 pitch, 1 out here in the fifth. And that's a good start.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the 3rd time through the lineup, and especially during baseball, you definitely have that 3rd time through the lineup. Both hitter and pitcher have seen each other a couple times, and adjustments are being made. So, as you mentioned, it will be a big inning, I think, for both North Park and against Alex Bagley.
Now Taylor Joseph, who's 2 for 2 with a single and an opposite field home run. I like to call it the Oppo Taco.
Always like to see some good Oppo tacos.
Not from the other team.
Oh, yeah.
But yes.
Enough.
It's in there for a strike. 0-2 on Joseph. Yeah, took a ball to right field. Looked like it was in and out of the glove of Sean Dimitrovich up against the right field wall. And Sean came back. He was leaning against the fence, and everybody was waiting for him to either show the ball or look in his glove. And he looked in his glove, and it was a 2-run homer. That's foul to the right and out of play. The 0-2. Just missing, 1-2. The 1-2 on its way. Bagley to Joseph. Another good pitch on the outside corner, just misses. It's a really good pitch on 1-2. The 2-2. That's hit well to left. Shower is back. He's at the wall, and he leaps. The ball comes down in the field of play, and Joseph now a triple shy of the cycle. And Stephanie, that wind, I don't know that Caleb even needed to leap. That ball landed off the wall. Shower was there in time. I think he was expecting it to go up and over the wall, but another hit.
Yeah, I mean, nice recovery from him because he is playing relatively shallow because most of the hits to left field have not flown that far. But yeah, so I guess we just saw that the ball will fly out to left. So I guess just the wind is just being the wind, and just got to deal with it as it comes.
A runner at second, 1 out from Matsuzaki, who's 2 for 2, a couple of singles. Fouls it off to the left. 7th hit given up by Bagley. 3 extra base hits, a couple of doubles, a home run, 3 infield singles. All in all, though, another good start from Alex Bagley. And I mean, you can't, again, we go back and we look at that home run from Joseph his last time up. Just get that ball up into the breeze. And any other day, that's a fly out to right field. But today it's a 2-run homer to right. But bear down here with a runner at second and 1 out. Get through this without giving up a run, then maybe your offense can get to work the second and third time through the lineup. The 0-1. Grounded into right field for a base hit. Dimitrovich is up with it. Joseph rounds third, and he will score. So Matsuzaki now 3 for 3 with 2 RBI. Another run scored for Joseph. That's his 3rd run of the game. And North Park up 4-0. Taylor Joseph, Rain Matsuzaki are 6 for 6 in this game with 4 runs knocked in and 3 runs scored.
Yeah, and that is exactly what you want from your 3-4 hitters.
Yep, they are delivering it today as North Park looking to leapfrog Wheaton in the CCIW standings. Still a long way to go, though. Just top of the fifth. Marvucik will bat after this mound visit. Bagley 4 runs on 3 hits in 4 1/3. 1 walk, 3 Ks. Up to 65 pitches. So not a fatigue thing here, but he's had trouble with Taylor Joseph and Rain Mathuzaki. 6 of the 8 hits have come from those two individuals. Now Marvucik, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts. Fastball in there, called strike 1. Thunder 5th, Nathan Hedlund, Ryan Cartwright, Braden Engel, 8-9-1. Mathuzaki came in hitting .238. He's 3 for 3 with 2 knocked in today. Pitch yanked inside, 1-1. 4-0 North Park. 4 runs, 8 hits, and an error for the Vikings. 0-3-1 for the Thunder. 1-1. It's hit in the air to center. Braden Engel drifting back. He'll make the catch for out number 2. Marvucik now 0 for 3. Engel's been busy. If you're North Park, you should try somebody else. 2 outs now for Fabian Cruz. Cruz led off the 4th inning with a bit of a wind-aided double, hit a blooper to left, and kept pushing away from Caleb Schauer. Caleb tried to make a sliding catch and couldn't, and Cruz ended up at second. Strike 1. Cruz also struck out looking in the second. The 0-1 from Bagley. Good block by Cartwright over in the left-handed batter's box. 1 ball, 1 strike. That was pitch number 70 for Alex. A run in the first, 2 in the third, 1 in the 5th for North Park. So again, no big innings. Alex limiting damage, but unlike Friday in Game 2 against North Central, the offense hasn't been able to get started. In that game, North Central had 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the 5th. So just like this, they'd put up 5 runs through 5 innings against Wheaton pitching. But in that game, the Thunder scored 5 runs in the third. The offense just hasn't been able to get on track yet. The 1-2 now to Cruz. Fastball missing outside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first is Rain Mathuzaki. Swing and a miss. Cruz down on strikes for a second time today. 4th K for Alex Bagley, but another run comes across halfway home. Thunder trail by 4. Bottom fifth. Thunder down 4-0 against Dawson Noose, who's looked really, really good so far. 3 hits so far, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And he's kept the Thunder off the scoreboard through 4. He'll face Headland, Cartwright, Engel in the 5th. First pitch to Nathan is downstairs, ball 1. Headland grounded into a fielder's choice with 2 on and 2 outs in the 2nd inning. That was pitch number 60 for Noose. Headland in the hole. Backhand play there by Joseph. Bobbles it. The throw is, in time over at first. I don't know about that. That was a good pick by Vertucci. And 1 away here in the 5th. Headland hard up that first base line, but good pick by Vertucci for the first out.
I did see him take an extra peek over at short, which, it's a game of inches. And
Maybe that slowed him down just a hair.
It was a super close play, as you mentioned, Aaron.
Now Ryan Cartwright. Ryan riding a 4-game hit streak. He's 7 for 16 in that time, has 3 runs knocked in. He was 3 for 4 in Game 2 of the doubleheader against North Central. Had the game-tying RBI in the bottom of the 9th. Had 2 singles to right, and then with the infield drawn in and Headland at third, went back up the middle to tie the game at 8. The Thunder, he would then score the winning run on the base hits by Jack Gill. Here, just looking to get the offense started. Thunder haven't put a leadoff man on yet today. Cartwright swings there, and he's down on 3 pitches. 4th strikeout of the game for Noose, and he's pretty locked in here this afternoon, Stephanie.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we've been talking about what a pretty good job Bagley's been doing. We've mentioned that multiple times, despite the 4 runs, but Noose has just been shining right now.
Thunder need to put something together with 2 outs. Braden Engel 0 for 2. Ball 1 outside. Strikeout looking and a ground out to first so far for Braden. Foul tipped off the mask of Mathuzaki. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike to the Thunder leadoff hitter. Misses outside, 2-1. This game was originally scheduled for Tuesday. It was supposed to be Tuesday and Wednesday against North Park, but with some weather coming in, tomorrow's game was pushed to today. And it started early. It was supposed to start at 6, and then they pushed it back because it's cold outside. They want to give us a little bit more sun.
And we are grateful. And everyone here is grateful.
Yeah, for sure. 3 balls, 1 strike on Engel. Misses ball 4. Yeah, there have been a lot of changes to the schedules here over the last couple of weeks. Of course, that Friday doubleheader was supposed to be on Saturday, but with the weather that came in over the weekend and the weather we saw all last week and the weather we're going to see the rest of this week, they made the decision to move Saturday to Good Friday, and it's appropriate that Wheaton swept a doubleheader on Good Friday. Now Caleb Schauer, who's 0 for 2. Swings over the top of the first pitch, 0-1. Did you have a good Easter?
I did, yeah. Went to church and then went to a couple people's houses. And
I was going to say, because you're from California, correct?
I am, yeah. So I stayed here because that would have been a crazy fast, short trip.
Yes, for sure. Runner takes off. The throw down. Engel is out at second. Another bang play. That's 2 calls that went against the Thunder here in the 5th on bang plays at the base on the bases. Engel caught stealing. That'll send us to the 6th. Day is done for Alex Bagley. Went the first 5, 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them were earned. He walked 1, he struck out 4 through 75 pitches. And he'll turn it over to Josh Ortiz. Big arm for Josh, but like with many of these Thunder bullpen arms, Stephanie, it's all about control. Ortiz 10 strikeouts in 7 2/3 innings, but he's walked 13 in that time. So if he can keep the ball in the strike zone, he's got some good stuff. He'll face Enomoto, Vertucci, and Johnson, 7, 8, 9. There's a tight breaking ball over, called strike 1. Enomoto 0 for 2. It's not a bad performance by Bagley. 8 hits, 3 earned runs, and at least a couple of those hits were wind-aided, 3 infield singles. But, credit to North Park. They took advantage of the opportunities they had. Quickly 1 and 2.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I was keeping count of first pitch strikes, and he threw 20 first pitch strikes, which is pretty great. And so he was filling that strike zone, and as you mentioned, North Park was able to take advantage of that. And unfortunately, the Wheaton offense has been scuffling a little bit this game.
And good start there for Ortiz as he strikes out Enomoto 1 away. Yeah, the offense just hasn't been clicking here today, and there are going to be struggles when you're missing both James Scott and Tyler Burr, both of them hitting .385 on the season. I mean, when you're missing your 2 catalysts, really your 1-2 hitters, those 2 guys were your 1-2 hitters for the first 22 games of the season, and now neither of them are in the lineup. It's obviously next man up is a real thing, but it's hard. You can only lose so many pieces before you start to struggle, and we're seeing that a little bit here tonight, I think. Ortiz dealing, throwing strikes. That's a good pitch from Josh, and it's 0-2 on Vertucci.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that Bagley would probably want to take back was that pickoff error, which caused the first run to come through.
Yep.
But everything else, I think, was a pretty good game from him.
Yeah, I agree. That's really the only self-inflicted error. 0-2. Wow, Ortiz looking good. That was a nasty, nasty curveball. Vertucci out on strikes. Yeah, I mean, even the home run, again, on any other day, that's a fly out to right field. He gave up a run in that first inning on a couple of infield hits. The third inning, again, a ball that was hit out to left that, without a 30-mile-an-hour wind, I think Caleb Schauer probably makes that catch easily. So you can't be too disappointed in the way this game has gone. But, he didn't have his best stuff, and North Park took advantage of it. Eli Johnson is plunked with 2 outs, so he'll go down to first. Back to the top of the order, Joe Perona, who's 0 for 3. Strikeout, couple of flyouts, all against Alex Bagley. Ortiz, his first pitch is fastball, called strike 1. We've seen this Thunder offense put up some big numbers against some very good pitchers and pitching staffs. They put up a lot of runs against Milliken, which has the best ERA in the CCIW by about 2 runs. So we've seen them put up some big numbers. We saw him take down the North Central closer in Game 2, Elijah Hammond, a kid who throws upper 80s, and they had some success against him. So the offense has the ability to put some runs together against anybody, but it's been a struggle so far today. The 1-1 to Perona. Misses down 2-1. Good start to the inning for Josh. Back-to-back Ks of Enomoto and Vertucci. He hit Eli Johnson, and he's fallen behind Perona here 2-1. And once again, we are aware of the video issues we're having here at Lee Pfund. They're working on it, and the hope is to have everything settled and sorted by Friday's game against Elmhurst. I know everybody here appreciates your patience, and it's being worked on by people that are a whole lot smarter than me. 3 balls, 1 strike. A pitch to Perona. It's a good one. 3-2. Another breaking ball. Count goes full. Johnson will take off with this 3-1 pitch. He's bouncing on that front foot. The payoff pitch is outside, ball 4. Thunder have not gotten any of those calls yet here today, Stephanie. We saw it in the bottom of the 5th. The bang-bang play at first called out. The bang-bang play at second called out. That one there was a close pitch.
Hitting for North Park, number 20,
Haven't gone our way yet so far today.
Akaka.
Now Kapono Akaka into the game. He's 1 for 3 with a single. A couple of flyouts sandwiched around a single in the 3rd. Got to get Akaka here as Taylor Joseph waits on deck. He's a triple shy of the cycle. Ball 1, and this is sort of the Josh Ortiz experience, right? Comes in, mows down the first 2 hitters looking filthy, strikeout, and then a hit batter and a walk. Falling behind Akaka here in the 6th. Has the stuff. 1-0. Pitch maybe a little below the knees, called a strike. 1-1. There's a fastball pumped over, called strike 2. And you're never supposed to start a story with 2 outs and 2 strikes in an inning because the inning could be over. But I did that last inning, and I asked you about your Easter, and then we never got back to it. So we'll see what happens on after. We'll talk about it at the beginning of the next inning or when the next batter comes up. The 1-2 from Ortiz. That's it down the right field line. So you hung out with some friends?
Yeah, I had some people over and made some lasagna, and that was fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
Lasagna for Easter. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's how the real Italians do it. You know, I was talking to some friends at church on Sunday, and they were telling me that they were having eggplant parmesan and lasagna and all this like real Italian food.
Nice.
I'm like, we're having ham and deviled eggs, which I love, by the way. No shade on ham and deviled eggs. The 1-2. Fastball misses outside. Yeah, I spent Easter with my in-laws. It's where I spend all my holidays, with my mother-in-law and my father-in-law out in Downers Grove. Wonderful people, Mark and Lori. They're terrific in-laws. I'm lucky to have them. The 2-2. Popped up. Wind trying to push that out of play, and I think it will. Yep. So church in the morning. My kids had their profession of faith.
Oh, exciting.
Yes. My three kids, 17, 13, and 10. So that was fun to be a part of, and we ate well. 2-2.
Yeah, sounds like a pretty good Easter overall.
It was a good Easter. And then I went home and took a nap.
Nice.
2-2. That's right in there.
Nasty.
Strike 3. Yeah, that's a nasty curveball from Ortiz. He strikes out the side. North Park strands a couple. Bottom 6 coming up. Under offense. Needs to get moving. We're in the 6th.
Leading off for the Thunder, number 3.
Thunder with just 3 hits
Power.
so far here today against Dawson Noose. And they'll send 2, 3, 4 to the plate against the right-hander here in the 6th. And he said this a couple innings ago, third time through the lineup. Maybe they see something and they're able to make those adjustments and get on the board. The game is still well within reach, just 4 runs with 4 innings left to go. This is a Wheaton offense that scores twice that in a game. They average about 8 runs a game. It'll be Shower, Gill, and Schofield, 2, 3, 4. Ball down and away, 1-1. Caleb 0 for 2. He was at the plate when Braden Engel was called out at second on a steal attempt. And I say called out because I don't think he was actually out. But he was called out. So he's out. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, yeah.
No instant replay here at the D3 level.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't happy about it. I thought he was in, but...
2 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, the second base umpire said that the tag was down on his shoulder before he got the foot in, but debatable. Here's a ground ball hit to third. Eli Johnson, the backhand play. He'll flip it across the diamond. And there's 1 out. And again, just the ground ball outs. It's been a part of Noose's game today, and the Thunder just have not been able to elevate today, and so they're not taking advantage of that wind. And that left side of the diamond, Eli Johnson, Taylor Joseph have been busy and they've been effective.
Yeah, and Wheaton is usually a pretty solid gap-to-gap team, and unfortunately, it must be what Noose's game plan is to keep the ball low on the ground, and that's what he's done well.
That's 9 ground ball outs for Dawson Noose through 5 1/3, and he'll face Jack Gill, who's 0 for 2. A couple of ground outs for Jack, 1 to the pitcher, 1 to the shortstop. Gill checks his swing. It's called a strike. 0-2.
I have a friend who does stats for the baseball team, and the coaches call him Saber. He told me that Gill has batted .364 against North Park in his career. He's just a sophomore, so that was last season.
Yep.
So let's hope that he can have some success right now.
Hey, it's .364 against them this year, though, and that would bring his average down. Jack Gill, .422 this season.
Yeah, that's true.
Inside, 2-2. Gill, the sophomore from Hamilton, New Jersey. Team's leading hitter. He's top 10 in CCIW play in batting average, hits, runs, doubles, slugging, and on-base percentage. Doing a little bit of everything for the Thunder, batting out of the 3 spot this year. He's worked count full. A couple of walks for Noose thus far. Last season as a freshman, Jack hit .284. Mostly a singles hitter last year, just 8 extra base hits and 44 at-bats. This season already with 16 extra base hits, so that power has come along between his freshman and his sophomore year, and now a runner at first with 1 out for Charlie Schofield.
First baseman, number 27, Charlie Schofield.
Charlie 0 for 2. 0 for his last 5 at the plate. His average had peaked at about .418 or so before that second game against North Central on Friday. He went 0 for in that one. He's 0 for 2 so far here this afternoon / this evening. Yeah, and then I had leftovers last night, too.
Oh.
Leftovers are good.
Yeah.
Leftovers from a holiday meal, those are some of the best, right? Obviously, Thanksgiving is at the top. You get your Thanksgiving turkey and stuff, but I had leftover ham, and we had this roast thing. That was good.
Nice.
Yeah,
I somehow have half a pan of lasagna left over, so
Are you here with me on Friday?
I'm not, unfortunately.
Well, you eat lasagna all week. I love lasagna. See, I don't get everybody in my family, except for me, have dairy allergies.
Oh, okay.
So my wife can't make the real ricotta cheese lasagna, and that's the one thing she hasn't been able to replicate in a dairy-free
Sure,
diet
okay.
is like the ricotta cheese and a lasagna. She can do it with pizza and with everything else,
Okay.
but she hasn't been able to replicate it with lasagna. So I haven't had a good lasagna in ages. It's 1-2 now on Schofield.
Yeah, fair enough. Actually, my family makes it with cottage cheese because it
Okay.
melts a little bit
Okay.
better.
Is that what you made it with?
Yeah, cottage cheese.
That sounds
and
really good.
Spinach. We put spinach in our lasagna.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had that. Yeah, sure. Makes it a little healthier, too.
Yeah.
You justify eating all the lasagna. Schofield takes it out to left field. It'll land in front of Cruz. And it's a wind-aided base hit for Charlie Schofield as the wind knocks that one down, and the Thunder put 2 on with 1 out here in the 6th inning. I mean, if you're going to eat a giant plate of cheese and noodles, put a little bit of spinach in there, get some iron in there, and you can
Exactly.
justify it.
Under
Yeah.
the DH, number 21, Mason Dial.
Now Mason Dial. Mason's reached twice today. Single and a walk for Mason. 2 on, 1 out. It's the 3rd time today the Thunder have put 2 on with 1 out. We'll see if they can deliver this time. Dialed and Clegg. That's a really good pitch, called a ball. We saw Charlie hit that ball to left, and wind just knocking it straight down, and looked like it was going to be a routine fly ball to left, but Cruz ended up having to play it on a hop. See if the Thunder can take advantage of that here as that misses outside. Another good pitch, 2-1. And Mason, this feels like the kind of weather that is made, this kind of wind that is made for someone like Mason Dial, who lives kind of in that right center field alleyway. As he shoots this down the right field line, that'll go foul. Both of his home runs are to right field this year. If he does that here, it'll bring Wheaton within a run. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the senior Dial. Extended his hitting streak to 6 games with that base hit in the 2nd. The 2-2. And that just misses inside. Dial has laid off 3 really, really close pitches here in this at-bat. And now he's worked to count full. Huge pitch on 3-2. Gill at second, Schofield at first. The payoff to Dial. Mason stays alive. Hits now in 11 of his last 12 games. Missed all of last season with an injury, so it took him a little bit of time to kind of get back into the swing of things this year, but that average up over 330 now. Payoff pitch. Again, foul to the right and out of play. That's where my car is. I was cringing a little bit. You never think it's going to happen until you get 30-mile-an-hour winds blowing that way, and then it's like, oh, maybe I should have parked somewhere else. Another 3-2 pitch from Noose to Dial. Ball 4. Bases are loaded. Tying run will come to the plate in Will Clegg, and is that going to do it? Looks like Luke Johnson was looking down in his dugout, and that is going to do it for Dawson Noose. He will leave after 5 1/3 in North Park. We'll go to their bullpen with the bases loaded. Tying run coming into the plate here in the bottom of the 6th. So into the game here in a very tough situation is a freshman out of Skokie, 5'10", 205-pound righty, Jacob Titsworth. And so far, so good for Jacob. He's making his 7th appearance of the season. He's 3-0 with an ERA right at around 3 as a sub-1 whip. And he'll come up with the bases loaded, 1 out, and Will Clegg coming to the plate. And talked about Will, 19 runs knocked in just 47 at-bats. He'll ground this slowly to third. Eli Johnson will go to first, so that'll get a run home. So it's an RBI ground out for Will. His 20th knocked in of the season. Gill moves to third, or Gill scores, excuse me. Schofield to third, Dial to second. And now Sean Dimitrovich. Big at bat here for Sean, second and third, 2 outs.
Sean Dimitrovich.
Sean 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground out. Base hit gets the Thunder probably back within a run. First pitch to Sean is popped up on the infield. Joseph drifts into shallow left, makes the catch. And the Thunder are only able to score a run. But they do get on the board. We go to the 7th. Thunder down by 3. Seventh inning. Thunder got on the board. And Josh Ortiz out there for his second inning. We'll start Joseph off with strike 1. Thunder have had no answers for Taylor Joseph so far today, Stephanie. 3 for 3. Single, double, home run. Ortiz has him in an 0-2 hole right here, though. And called strike 3, curveball at the knees. That's 4 Ks for Ortiz. He has come in and looked great. Now Rain Matsuzaki. Matsuzaki 3 for 3. Fastball inside, ball 1. The 1-0 stays high. Well, Stephanie, Thunder got on board last inning, but, feels I don't know how you want to phrase it, but bases loaded, 1 out, and you only get 1 run across. Like, it's great that you scored that run, but you feel like you left something there.
Yeah, I was going to use the word anticlimactic.
Sure, yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
Just a little bit. Like, you did get a run, as you mentioned, Aaron, which obviously is better than nothing at all. I think you would have left extremely frustrated after that end of the inning. But, yeah, it just looked like you had a good shot at hopefully tying the game or closing the gap to only 1 to 2 runs.
Inside out swing, Clegg. The play, the throw in time. So good outing so far for Josh Ortiz. 4 strikeouts, looking for 2 scoreless. And the Thunder keeping themselves in the game here. The offense has struggled a bit, but the pitching staff has looked pretty good so far today. And more often than not with this Thunder offense, if you can limit the opposition to 4 runs, you're probably going to win. Hasn't been the case today, of course, but still 9 outs to play with for the Thunder. If they can keep North Park off the board these final 3 innings, give himself a chance. This is Marvucik, who's 0 for 3. 2-0. So Alex Bagley went the first 5, gave up 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them were earned. Walked 1, struck out 4. On the other side, Dawson Noose, 5 1/3, 4 hits. 1 run, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. He threw 93 pitches, 52 were strikes, but he walked 4, but that control didn't really get him into a ton of trouble, except for that last inning when maybe he was running out of a little bit of steam. The 3-0 to Marvucik. And it's ball 4. So 4-pitch walk from Ortiz. Second walk for Josh, and there North Park has a 2-out base runner for Fabian Cruz.
Hitting for North Park, the left fielder, number 44, Fabian Cruz.
Cruz 1 for 3 today with a double sandwiched in between a couple of strikeouts. We had a balk called by the second base umpire, but then the home plate umpire made the correction and said, nope, I called timeout. Ortiz went, umpire called time, the home plate umpire called time. It's not a balk. That's in there for a strike. Best outing of the year so far for Josh Ortiz. He's looked terrific. Misses low. His last time out was against Augustin on the 28th. Faced 2 batters, walked them both. It's nice to see this from him here today. The control hasn't hurt him yet. See if he can get through Cruz and give the Thunder 2 scoreless. Yep, good breaking ball, 1-2. Cruz wanted to pull the trigger, but by the time he decided, the ball was already past him. 1-2. The 1-2 now from Ortiz. Slider dives down and away, 2-2. Thunder moved over 500 for the first time this year with their sweep over North Central. 12-11 on the season. 2-2. Count goes full, and Marvucik will get a head start on this payoff pitch. Three balls, 2 strikes. The pitch on its way. And ball 4. The entire Thunder infield, pitcher included, took about 4 steps towards the dugout. That ball called outside. That looked like a pretty darn good pitch on 3-2. That's the 3rd walk from Josh. We're going to have a pinch hitter here for Braden Enomoto. It looks like Peyton Robinson, number 21, the sophomore from Chicago, Mount Carmel High School.
Pitch hitting for North Park, number 21, Peyton Robinson.
So Robinson will pinch hit for Braden Enomoto. Enomoto 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. Peyton 1 for 4 at the plate this season. Swings and misses, strike 1. And that's, so far that's what Josh has been doing. He's walked 3 in his inning and 2/3, but he's been throwing first pitch strikes. He did have the 1 4-pitch walk to Marvucek, but other than that, he's been getting ahead of hitters before losing them. But at least he's battling and he's in these at bats. That's chopped to short. Gill will win the race to the bag. So Josh Ortiz, 2 shutout innings of relief. Thunder within 3 rather, time to stretch here at Lee Pfund. Bottom of the 7th. Thunder hanging around, down by 3. Scored a run last inning on an RBI ground out from Will Clegg. Had the bases loaded, 1 out though. Could only push 1 across, and now they'll send Headland, Cartwright, and Engel up against Jacob Titsworth, who only needed a couple of pitches to get through those 2 hitters. Got Clegg to ground out 5-3, and then Sean Dimitrovich popped out to short. So Headland 0 for 2. And he'll take ball 1. Titsworth this season, 17 2/3 innings, just 11 hits and 5 walks. It's a 183 batting average against the righty. And he has Headland chasing there, 1-1. 10 strikeouts for Jacob. Last time. He's given up runs in each of his last 3 appearances, but just 3 runs total, and that's been over 8 1/3. His last time out was on the 29th against Carroll. Gave up a run in an inning and a third. Was really good against Wisconsin Oshkosh on the 24th. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, or 1 run, 4 strikeouts in that one as that pitch misses high, and it's 3-1. Out of Skokie, went to Niles North. Headland trying to reach, starting off the 7th. A 3-1 from Titsworth is at the knees, called strike 2. Cartwright, Engel, if anybody reaches, Caleb Shower. A 3-2 now. Ball 4, good at bat by Headland to start off the 7th. He offered at that pitch earlier in the at-bat, Stephanie, but learned from it.
Yes.
And when Titsworth went back to it on 3-2, was able to hold off. Now Ryan Cartwright, who's 0 for 2.
Ryan Cartwright.
Ground out and a strikeout. Both of those against Dawson Noose. See if the Thunder can put together some more late inning heroics. Off speed pitch, looked like maybe a frisbee slider or a changeup that Cartwright was out in front of, and it's 0-1. Pitch inside. Hedlund dives back into first safely. 1-1 on Ryan. Ryan's raised his average to 250 with his 7 for 16 stretch here over the last 4 games. Down and in, 2-1. I'm trying to control my tablet with my fingers and my hands are shaking.
Yeah.
I'm having trouble. The finger dexterity isn't great right now. 2-1 to Cartwright is grounded foul. Pass Matt Husted, and the count's even at 2. Yeah, I'm about done with this cold weather. I'm about done with it. I am ready for the heat, and I don't think we're going to get any. I think it's supposed to be cold on Friday as well. Pull up my weather app, which is always 100% accurate. Oh, look at that, rain and 50s, of course. The 2-2. Cartwright grounds a foul. It's supposed to be nice over there. It's supposed to be warm over the weekend, but I mean, you look at this weather forecast, and it's just rain, 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 rain every single day.
Yeah, I'll admit I'm not a huge fan of the rain.
No, one day it's supposed to be sunny. Tomorrow we're going to have a high of 40. Like, come on.
This is why we can't have nice things
You're
in the
right.
Midwest.
Yeah. Another 2-2 from Cartwright. Good at bat so far by Ryan. And he clubs it to left, but Cruz makes the catch. Ryan now 0 for 3. Now Braden Engel. Engel 0 for 2, and this might be his last chance to extend that hit streak. He has hits in all 6 games since his return. Last time up, he walked and was caught stealing to end the 5th. We got what? We got about a month left, right? A little bit. We got about a month left of the season, roughly. You got to think that at some point we're going to have some nice weather for some baseball before it ends. We've earned it, Stephanie. We've earned some nice weather. Sitting out here calling these games in these temperatures and with this wind, we have earned some nice weather. I think so, yeah.
Yes, hopefully.
Nothing in 1 on Engel. Pitch misses outside. I mean, I'm wearing 4 layers. And I'm still cold. Yeah. I mean, the wind just goes right through it all. It's. Ugh. I feel like we talk about it in every game, but you know what? It's what's on my mind right now, so fair. I'm gonna talk about it. 1-1 and 2 Braden. Downstairs, and the catcher Matsuzaki doesn't know where it is, and Hedlund will go down to second on the pass ball.
Yeah, I feel like being from California, I never quite understood why spring training was always in Arizona or Florida. No, truly.
Now you do.
Now I do, especially for those East Coast teams and the Midwest teams for sure. I think I was always like, oh, I mean, I guess it's nice weather down there, but I don't think I realized that like spring training would have been like, it just would be non-existent in the Midwest. And
there's a reason that your college baseball teams that are almost always at the top of the NCAA rankings are the teams from Arizona or Texas or California or Florida because they can play baseball year-round. Can't do that here.
That's true.
It's you try to play baseball in April and it's 40 degrees outside. It's 3-1 on Engel. Tying run in the on-deck circle. Pitch to Braden is outside, ball 4. Another walk by Titsworth here in the 7th. That's the 6th walk issued by North Park pitching here today. And, You feel like maybe the Thunder, then have an opportunity to get back into the game via the free pass, as North Park is going to go back to their bullpen with 2 on, 1 out here in the 7th. New pitcher, new left fielder for North Park here with 1 out in the 7th. The new left fielder is Noah Fujitani. He is in left field replacing Fabian Cruz. And the new pitcher is Ethan Condit, who pitches seemingly almost every day. This is North Park's 23rd game, and Condit has appeared in now 14 of them. He's 3-0 with a 4.76 ERA. Will not beat himself, just 2 walks allowed in 22 2/3 innings. Has given up 30 hits. Faced Caleb Schauer with Engel at first, Headland at second. 1 away in the 7th. Caleb 0 for 3. Dropped over, called strike 1.
But out of those 30 hits, I believe only 4 of them have been extra base hits. A double, a triple, and 2 home runs.
1 ball, 1 strike on Schauer. Fouled back, 0-2. So, they're going to have to station it maybe. Pick up some base hits, move the runners along. Tying run at the plate for his 2nd consecutive inning here for the Thunder as they try to crawl back into this game late. The 1-2. And there you go. Base hit to right field. Hitting third is Headland. He will be waved. The throw to the plate. Not in time. Moving to third is Engel. And the Thunder are back within 2. It's 4-2. Good piece of hitting by Schauer, taking the ball the other way. And on the throw, Engel moves to thirds. Now the go-ahead run at the plate. And Jack Gill, and if there was ever a time here for Jack to get one up into the breeze, it would be right now as the potential go-ahead run. And he feels due. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Guild and Schofield, if you needed to drive in both base runners, these are the guys you want at the plate right now. Jack Gill, Charlie Schofield. With Tyler Burr still out of the lineup, James Scott still out of the lineup. Gill at 420 coming into play. He'll slap the first pitch out of play, 0-1. Engel at third. Schauer at first. For Caleb, that was his 6th run knocked into the season. Gill leads the team in home runs, RBI, doubles, triples, hits. He's in an 0-2 hole here. And he throws the fastball past him. Impressive at bat there for Ethan Condit. 3 pitches to retire Jack Gill. There are 2 outs on Charlie Schofield. Tying run at first. Go ahead, run at the plate.
Number 27, Charlie Schofield.
Schofield 1 for 3. Bloop single to left his last time up. Love to at least pick up Engel here this inning, make it a 1-run game. Runner goes, the throw down, and Showers out. So for a second time today, the Thunder run themselves into an out to end an inning. They bring the tying run to the plate again. They do plate 1. They get back within a pair. It's 4-2 as we go to the 8th.
Number 19, Enzo Bertucci.
Stephanie, the offense has kept it close, has gotten a little bit closer, running the 6th, running the 7th. The pitching staff so far has been able to hold North Park at bay here over the last couple of innings, and that's really all you're asking for out of your relief, right, is to keep the other team at bay. That's blooped down the right field line. That'll go foul off the bat of Enzo Bertucci. Josh Ortiz, everything you could have asked for out of him so far. 2 innings, no earned runs. He's walked 3, he struck out 4, and he's back out there for his 3rd inning. He'll face 8, 9, and 1. Bertucci, Johnson, and Perona. Bertucci 0 for 2 with a flyout, a strikeout, and a walk. Thunder have had their chances these last 2 innings. Bases loaded, 1 out in the 6th. They had the tying run at first with 1 out and couldn't get that run home. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, I know we were talking at the break that, you never want to run yourself into outs, but the way that this game has been going, I understand why Coach sent Shower on that last one.
You push it a little bit, right? That's hit pretty well out to straightaway center, but again, hit it to somebody else. Catch is made by Braden Engel for the first out. Yeah, you try to push the envelope, try to force things a little bit. Offense has been hard to come by in this one, just 6 runs so far, so again, like we talked about, maybe the catcher throws it into center field. Maybe Shower's safe, and then the batter is able to bloop one into the outfield someplace, and you just never know. So when we go to the 8th, it'll be Schofield, Dial, and Clegg, so the middle 3rd. This is Eli Johnson. It started with a strike, and Josh Ortiz looks like a different pitcher today than what we've seen in previous outings. He's starting hitters out with strikes. He's mixing things up nicely. He's got control of both his fastball and his breaking stuff, and he has been tough through 2 1/3 so far. That fastball pins the outside corner, and when he's controlling the breaking ball and he's able to paint the black with his fastball, he's going to be tough. Ortiz with an 0-2 now to Johnson. Off the end of the bat, foul.
Yeah, with the CCIW play getting heavily underway, and I think you want definitely people like Ortiz to start hitting their stride. So you have a pretty nasty bullpen to contend with.
I mean, you need more than 1 or 2 guys out of your pen that you can trust with some regularity. You know that Matt's not going to have any question going to Billy Kessler or J.D. Van Hook or Caleb Henderson, Jack Lindsay have had their moments as well. But you need some more consistency, and you need somebody who can go out there and give you multiple innings when your pitcher can only give you 4 or 5. And Josh can pitch like this the rest of the way. He'll take it. The 1-2. Did he hold up? He did. It's 2-2.
That ball had some nasty drop,
Yep.
though.
Yeah, that was a lot of movement. 12-6 there. Ortiz had come in throwing 7 2/3 innings over his 5 appearances, 9 hits, 13 walks, 10 strikeouts. But so far so good here as that's lined hard but foul. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 away in the 8th. My guess, if I were putting money on it, and I don't gamble, but if I were, this is probably Josh's game until he puts a base runner on. It wouldn't surprise me to see Matt Husted go to the bullpen just a little high, 3-2. I think Josh wanted that one. And he's out there with short sleeves. These baseball players are tougher than people give them credit for, man. The 3-2 now from Ortiz to Johnson. That's strike 3 at the knees. Another strikeout for Ortiz. That is his 5th. And there are 2 outs. Ortiz now 2 2/3 scoreless. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and he'll face Joe Perona. Got to be careful, though, here with Perona. Hitting about 340 on the year, has 20 stolen bases. And he'll hit the first pitch out of play. But given that, the Thunder are coming off a doubleheader on Friday, game today, game tomorrow, another game on Friday, you need somebody else to step up and give you some innings so that you're not burning your pitchers out for the weekend. And even if they don't come back and win this game, that's bunted foul. Even if they don't come back and win this game, this performance by Josh Ortiz has been incredibly valuable because it's kept them from having to use other arms.
Yes, for sure.
0-2 on Perona. Perona, 15 strikeouts. He'll ground this into right center field, and that'll skip onto the turf. That'll roll all the way to the wall. And Perona, with a ton of speed, will coast into second with a 2-out double. That's a turf double right there, Stephanie. That ball, just a line drive past the second baseman and picked up speed as it had that top spin on it and went all the way to the wall. And it's a good thing I'm not a betting man because Josh Ortiz still out there giving up the base runner. And he'll face Kupono Kaka, who's 1 for 4 today. He struck out looking his last time up. Big batter here. Runner at second, 2 outs with Taylor Joseph on deck. Certainly don't want to face him late in a game with runners on. First pitch from Ortiz misses a little low, 1-0. Let's see if Josh can finish off 3 scoreless here. 2 2/3 so far. He's been fantastic. You'd love to see him finish this off with another goose egg. See if your offense can get a bloop and a blast the next inning and get the game tied. There's a good breaking ball called, strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the 8th. 4 runs, 9 hits, and an error for the Vikings. 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error for the Thunder. It's inside ball 2. The other thing about spring baseball that they don't tell you, the allergies.
Yes.
I got the itchy eyes, and I got all sorts of stuff. 2-1. Ball high, I guess. Maybe a little inside. It's 3-1. Ortiz calls off the first sign from Cartwright. Gets what he wants on 3-1. Misses low ball 4. And now is where things get a little hairy. 2 on, 2 outs for Taylor Joseph. Joseph 3 for 4. He struck out looking his first time up, and I think that's going to be it. Here comes Matt Husted. As he'll make the slow walk out, he will go to the bullpen. Great pitching performance by Josh Ortiz. Thunder need to get 1 out here with 2 on, and their team down by 2. It'll be Billy Kessler in to deal with Taylor Joseph. And no real surprise here, Stephanie, given how Billy has pitched as of late. He's only given up 2 earned runs over his last 8 appearances. Covers about 11 innings of work on the season, Billy. 3-0 with a 3.46. 13 strikeouts, 6 walks in 13 innings. And in Game 2 against North Central, he was the winning pitcher in that one. He went the final 2 2/3 hitless, walked 1, struck out 4, and he picked up his 3rd win of the year. The 1-0. Fastball high. And we talk about limiting the damage, and that's what the Thunder did on Friday in Game 2 against North Central. That was Carson Greer, the 6'8 freshman, getting the start there. Gave up a couple runs, gave up 3 runs in his first 3 or so innings, but limited the damage, let the offense get back into it. If Kessler can get through this, we're kind of seeing more of the same here. 2-0, chopped to short. Gill will throw to first and retire Joseph. So they do continue to limit the damage. Can the Thunder keep chipping away here as we go to the bottom of the 8th? Well, the Thunder have been chipping away here the last couple of innings. It was 4-0 going into the bottom of the 6th. An RBI ground out by Will Clegg got Wheaton on the board. Another run in the 7th on an RBI single from Caleb Schauer made it 4-2. And now it'll be Schofield, Dial, Clegg, Dimitrovich against Ethan Condit in the 8th. Charlie 1 for 3. He was at the plate when Caleb Schauer was thrown out trying to steal second in the 7th. Charlie 1 for 3. He'll take a fastball over called strike 2. And the big at bat, I think, in that 7th inning was the 3-pitch strikeout, Stephanie, to Jack Gill. First and third, 1 out with Gill at the plate. You feel like you're going to come home with at least 1 run there. But striking out Gill on 3 pitches and then getting Schauer down at second base. 2 innings in a row where you got 1 run, but you felt like maybe more should have come across. Line drive base hit to left field by Charlie Schofield to start the 8th. So the tying run will come to the plate in Mason Dial. And I said last inning, get through the inning, maybe get a bloop and a blast here in the 7th, or here in the 8th. And Mason Dial has that opposite field power, that wind still blowing out to right. Mason's been on base 3 times today with a single and a couple of walks. Let's see if he can deposit one over 365 out there in right field. Schofield at first. Charlie now 2 for 4. Dial went around. It's 0-1 on Mason. Singled in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, walked in the 6th. Power in the next 2 hitters, Dial and Clegg. And it's quickly 0-2 on Dial. This is kind of what you get from Condit, right? He's going to give up some base hits because he's around the plate. But like you said, no real hard contact. In fact, hasn't given up an extra base hit since March 1st. Well, it tells you right there that he's, if you're going to get him, you're going to have to get him, with 3 or 4 base hits in a row.
Yeah, only 1 wild pitch, 2 hit by pitches, and 2 walks.
1-2 now to Dial. Misses down and away. 2-2. You just got to hope he makes a mistake, and when he makes that mistake, that you're on top of it. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Mason. Foul tipped. I didn't flinch. I'm proud of myself. That came straight back by us. Dial staying alive at 2-2.
Could you imagine life without nets as commentators?
Oh, no. The 2-2. Dial back up the middle, fielded there by Joseph. Goes to Akaka, and safe at first is Dial on the fielder's choice. So grounded up the middle, but they were shading him that way. Schofield's out on the 6-4 putout. Now Will Clegg. I think we're going to have a pinch runner here down at first base for Dial. We will. That is Hudson Gutwine down at first base.
Hudson Goodwine. And now batting for Wheaton. Number 4, Will Clegg.
Hudson, another one of those guys with some speed. It's primarily what he's doing this year. He's appeared in 14 games, but he only has 2 at-bats this year. He's 4 for 5 in stolen bases. That's where you're primarily going to see him in a pinch running role. He's at first base with 1 out for Clegg, who's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Fastball low, 1-1 to Will. Single to center. They need a double over the head of the right fielder, Vinny Marvucek, but Mason Dial had to hold up, and he ended up being thrown out at third. The 1-1, Clegg swings and misses. I saw what you were looking up there.
Yep,
I love it. I love it. Go ahead, talk about it. Talk about it.
Well, we were talking about Gutwine's numbers.
Yeah.
And just being a primarily pinch runner, and it reminded me of Herb Washington, which
Oakland A's back in the 70s. I don't think he was an Olympic track and field guy.
Yes, yeah.
Playing for Charlie Finley's A's, and that Charlie Finley was known for
bizarre stuff,
crazy stuff like that. But yeah, he stole like 30 bases, but didn't have a single at bat.
Yeah, they called him a designated runner at that point.
2-2, Gutwine goes. The swing and the miss. The throw down is in time, but the ball gets away from the shortstop, Joseph. So Clegg is out on strikes, and it is a stolen base for Gutwine, his 5th. He's at second with 2 outs now for Dimitrovich. Yeah, baseball, I love, those random stories like that. Herb Washington is a great one. I saw you pull it up, and I said, we got to talk about this.
Yeah, I wish I could have watched the A's three-peat in the 70s. I was an A's fan until they decided that they were going to move to Vegas.
Yeah, we've talked about that. You said you're not really rooting for anybody these days, right?
No.
Just go baseball more than anything?
So.
You're rooting for baseball, the sport, more than anything?
I think so, although I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of all the wholesale changes. Like the ABS system, I still haven't quite figured out how I feel about that.
Okay. I have a friend of mine works for Major League Baseball as part of the ABS system, and what he told me today, he said the newer umpires love us. The older umpires won't talk to us.
I bet.
I said, yeah, that sounds about right. This is chopped to the right side by Dimitrovich. Akaka with a nice high hop, and he will throw Sean out. So the Thunder get a leadoff single. Can't do anything with it. We go to the 9th. Thunder down 4-2. Ninth inning, Thunder down by 2. Stephanie and I were having an ABS conversation in between innings, and you brought up Ted Williams and kind of, we saw what his numbers were without ABS.
Yes.
Ted probably putting up a 500 on base percentage for his
Probably.
career if ABS was a thing back in the 40s. Billy Kessler will face Matuzaki, Marvuchik, and the pinch hitter that's fouled out of play. Right now, the scheduled hitter is Noah Fujitani.
Do you think ABS will ever make its way down to the college level?
I don't know. I mean, I think there comes a point in time where, everybody needs to learn how to do their job.
No,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
not lean on a system like ABS as a crutch almost. Like I can get the call wrong. It's not a big deal because ABS will correct me. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. I think high school and college, I think, is a great opportunity for some of these young umpires to sort of learn their craft and learn how to do the job. And then you use ABS to sort of perfect your craft, when you're an affiliated ball or if you make it to the majors. That's kind of my take on it. Fouled out of play by Matuzaki. And, one of the things we were talking about off air, I said, right now it's invasive. It feels invasive because you get, 10 to 15, challenges every single game. But the hope is that, the umpires, the bad umpires, the ones who are having so many of these calls go against them, that they step away and it brings in a new class of umpires that maybe are just better. And then all of a sudden, instead of having 8 to 10 to 12 challenges a game, you have 3. And it doesn't feel. It's kind of like the pitch clock, right? When the pitch clock started, people
that's
noticed it, but now you don't even notice the pitch clock unless there's a violation. It's just it's part of the game now.
Yeah.
So I think ultimately, my hope is that ABS works the same. Like you might get the occasional challenge as the count's gone 3-2 here on Ren Matuzaki. So that's kind of my hope for it, because right now it's a pretty substantial part of the game.
Yeah.
And all of that time that they're saving on the pitch clock, they're giving back on ABS replays now. Payoff pitch from Kessler is fouled straight back. But, I mean, the credit to some of these catchers and some of these batters who, are calling for some of these challenges, and they're winning them with the ball like 0.2 of an inch off the plate or in the strike zone, to be able to see pitches that are that close.
Yeah.
Another 3-2 from Kessler. Ball 4. Matuzaki will reach for a 4th time today. Leadoff base runner on here in the 9th. Now Vinny Marvuchik.
Ready for the Vikings, number.
I love talking this. That's why I love calling baseball, because you get to
Yeah.
have conversations like that while the game is going on, and I just think that's fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still sort of, I'm 50, so I'm sort of an old head when it comes to baseball. I'm not in that that generation that thinks that wins and RBI are the most important stats. Like I'm a generation beyond that. Like I'm in the sabermetric generation.
Okay,
Like give me
yeah.
on base percentage and
Yep.
slugging and whip and all those the kind of the newer age stats and stuff. And we're gonna get a mound visit here. Maybe some miscommunication between Cartwright and Kessler, but yeah, I mean I'm of that newer generation, but too much automation for me is a bad thing. This is a game played by humans. Mistakes are made by humans, and that includes umpires.
Yep.
If we're not going to let umpires make a mistake, like what are we going to do to limit the mistakes that are made by the players down the road? I know you want to get it right, and I've never had a huge issue with replay. Like, instant replay I'm fine with as long as you can come up with a solution within 30 seconds. Like, you should be able to look at it, see if you got it right.
Yeah.
If you got it right, you move on. If you can't figure it out within 30 seconds, the call stands. That's the way I feel. Like, I don't need any of these 3-minute replays where they're looking at things frame by frame, because that's not what the game is about to me. Pitch outside, 2-0. To me, the game is about, you've said it in the game today, the baseball is a game of inches. And I think if an umpire gets a call wrong on a bang-bang play, if it requires you to go frame by frame in slow motion, then you're looking at it too closely, because that's not how this game is played. Popping the bunt back is Marvucic.
Yeah, I mean, like one of the bigger mistakes in the recent memory was it 2011, 2010 in the perfect game against, what was his name?
Galarraga?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that was a huge blown call, but you got a great moment of sportsmanship out of it, and
Yeah, that one
is tougher because
that one was rough because he was so obviously
yes,
out.
Yeah, obviously out.
Yeah, it was a little different than some of these, bang bang plays at the
Yeah.
plate or something like that.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
out by a step and a half, and it
Yeah.
was just blown. So, like, those are the types of things. CB Buckner had one against him the other night where he called somebody out saying he never stepped on first base when he clearly stepped on first base, and the replay took 6 seconds. Get another 3-1 pitch, and it's bunted foul. They looked at the replay, went, "Yay, touch first base, he's safe. You got the call wrong."
Yeah.
You should be able to look at it and determine like that whether or not the call was right or wrong. And if you can't, then it just needs to stay as is. That's just sort of the way I've always looked at it. And that's not just baseball, it's every sport in my opinion. You know what I mean? Basketball replay is terrible when they're trying to figure out who the ball went off of and stuff. Like, it takes forever. And it takes away from the moment, I think. 3-2 pitch, fouled back. I think it takes away from the moment when you have a big play in a baseball game, and you got to sit there for 4 minutes and look at the replay. Like, just let's go. Let's start playing.
Yeah, a bit counterintuitive in a way, because that's the whole point of baseball, is that it's too slow for a majority of people right now. And so, yeah, you try to add too much automation. I totally agree, Aaron, that then suddenly you're kind of back to where you started.
Fastball, swing and a miss. Marvucic can't catch up with it. 1 out here in the ninth. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what happens. You put all of these plans in place to try to speed up the game, pitch clock, limit the number of moves you can make over to first base, things of that nature, and then you kill it all with replay and ABS. Like, I don't know that we're ever going to go back to the days of 3-hour and 20-minute 9-inning games like we saw from the Red Sox and Yankees in the early 2000s, when every game those two teams played was 3.5 hours. But still, I mean, we're down to 220, 230 for an average game, and I can get behind that. I like that.
Yeah, I personally think when you speed up the game too much, you just lose the essence of the game.
Sure, and I don't mind cutting a few minutes, you know what I mean? Like, we talked about the pitch clock. Like, pitch clock I like. You don't even notice the pitch clock anymore unless there's a pitch clock violation, and then it's, oh, what was that? Oh, wait, it was a pitch clock violation. The 0-1 from Kessler is bunted straight back. It's an 0-2. And I think, those are the types of rule changes I think that really work. The ones that, once you get over the initial, like, I don't want to say shock of it, but the initial, learning period, the rules that you don't even notice, those are the ones that work. Mm-hmm. No balls, 2 strikes here on Fujitani, as North Park has been trying to get a bunt down here for 2 batters. They haven't been able to. The 0-2. Fujitani went around, strike 3. Second strikeout for Kessler. And there are 2 outs. So you look ahead to the Thunder 9th. It'll be 8, 9, and 1. Headland, Cartwright, and Engel. And what's ironic is that on Friday, the Thunder were down 2 going into the 9th, with Headland, Cartwright, and Engel coming to plate. So, maybe,
history repeat itself.
a little deja vu all over again. We'll have pinch hitter here. This is Rylan Lee, the junior out of Mililani, Hawaii. He'll pinch hit for Peyton Robinson. Called strike one. And Billy Kessler was on the mound on Friday, too. So,
Well, okay.
you know, I mean,
The stars might be aligning
they really
again.
are. They might be. Yes, they might be. The 0-1 fastball in there, called strike two. Lee just 5'5". That's not a very big strike zone, but Kessler found it there. Billy trying to strike out the side here in the ninth. No balls, 2 strikes, runner at first, 2 outs in the ninth. Billy comes set, and the 0-2 from Kessler. Breaking ball chopped back to Billy. He'll flip it over to first, and the side is retired. Another inning and a third, scoreless innings from Billy Kessler. Thunder need 2 to tie, 3 to win. Griffin Acevedo is into the game in right field for North Park here in the ninth inning. So, yeah, the stars have aligned here a little bit. Thunder were down by 2 on Friday. Billy Kessler came out of the bullpen through over an inning scoreless. And bottom of the ninth starts off Nathan Hedlund, Ryan Cartwright, Braden Engel, Caleb Shower, and those are the 4 hitters that got things started in the ninth for the Thunder against North Central. Those are the 4 that will bat against Ethan Condit here in the ninth tonight. Got a bit of a delay here as we get ready. Looks like Ryan Mathuzaki was dealing with some equipment issues. So Condit so far an inning and a third. He's given up a couple of hits and a strikeout. So Hedlund, Cartwright, Engel here in the ninth. Hedlund 0 for 2 with a walk. And he's a little bit behind the breaking ball, 0-1. He walked and scored in the 7th, and you hear both the Thunder dugout and the Wheaton fans to our left trying to get noisy here in the ninth inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ultimately, I mean, you feel pretty good about the way this game has gone. The pitching was really, really good tonight. Hedlund chops it to the right side, and Vertucci will step on the bag, 1 out. I think I said this earlier in the game. You know, if this game had started and you had said to me that the Thunder would have given up 4 runs, I would have felt pretty confident that they would have walked out of here with a victory here today, as Chris Lynam will pinch hit for Ryan Cartwright, who was 0 for 3. You know, just some days the offense isn't clicking on all cylinders. That's sort of what's happened today for Wheaton. But, you know, the sign of a good team is that, you know, even when you're not playing your best, you're in it at the end. And the Thunder are in it here in the 9th inning. Lynam swings and misses. This has got to be really tough for Chris. It has been cold all night, and he's been sitting in the dugout for almost 3 hours now, and now he's going to come out here in the 9th inning and try to get the job done. And he quickly finds himself down 0-2. So Ethan Condit has come on and really shut things down. You see why he pitches almost every day for North Park. He's up 0-2 on Lynam. And he's... Ooh, I think Chris caught a break there, Stephanie. That looked like a pretty good pitch. A pretty good pitch on 0-2. If you're Chris, if this ball is anywhere near the strike zone, you better be swinging at it. The 1-2. He swings and misses. Another strikeout for Condit. And the Thunder down to their final out here in the 9th inning. And it will be Braden Engel.
Stepping up to the plate.
Engel 0 for 2. He's walked in his last 2 plate appearances.
Yeah, and the Thunder definitely had their chances this game.
They did, especially late. You know, in the 6th and 7th innings, you know, they had those opportunities, bases loaded, 1 out, and then in the 7th inning, they had the tying run on base with 1 out and couldn't get any closer. So, you know, may end up coming a little bit short here, but they had their chances, even in a game that they lost. Potentially lost, still not over yet. They still had their chances. They were never out of this game, and again, you're not going to win them all, and the ones you lose, if you can stay in them, you got to feel at least pretty good about that. The 2-0 out angle. Fastball over strike 1. Caleb Schauer on deck. Schauer 1 for 4 with a single. Let's see if he can get an opportunity here. See if Braden can get on base. Engel still looking for that first hit. Has a 6-game hit streak. The 2-1. Chops it foul. Thunder down to their last strike. Thunder 5-2 here at Lee Pfund this season. They've played well at home. The 2-2 now. Condit hit in the air pretty well out to right. Acevedo makes the catch right in front of the 365 mark. An hour ago, Stephanie, that's out of the ballpark, but the wind has died down here a little bit, and the Thunder will drop this one by the score of 4-2. Your winning pitcher is Dawson Noose. He improves to 4-1. The loss goes to Alex Bagley. He drops to 3-1. The game takes 2 hours and 55 minutes to play. Thunder dropped to 12-12, 5-3 in CCIW play. North Park 15-8. They improved to 5-2 in leapfrog Wheaton for first place in CCIW play. Ethan Condit his 6th save of the season. So Bash just couldn't get it done today, but again, a good pitching performance by Alex Bagley. Really liked what we saw out of the Wheaton bullpen, Stephanie.
Sure.
That's got to be encouraging as we go down the stretch here the rest of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, whenever you can hold a team under 5 runs, I think you've done a great job. And as we mentioned on the broadcast, Wheaton normally scores double that run, the amount of runs. So hopefully they can come out and beat North Park in their next game. Yep,
they play North Park tomorrow. 4:30 is the first pitch. We'll be live here next on Friday, 6 p.m. against Elmhurst. So for Stephanie Kishi, my name's Aaron Schellen. Thunder drop Game 1 to North Park by the score of 4-2. God bless. Stay warm, and we'll talk to you on Friday. Take care.